All right. All right. What we got here is Abaddon. We're going to do a pre-highlight on him, show you guys how that works. I'm sure you've seen it 100 times, but we're just going to go over what I do here. Let you guys kind of get a look at that before I start adding base colors and all that to it. So I have rattle can this in black. There is a black that I get from Home Depot. I don't have the can here right now, and it's like $1.50 matte black. Pretty inexpensive. It's pretty much a garbage paint, except that it is terrible enough that it works great for miniatures. If you spray on cardboard or wood, it's going to soak it right in. But it's almost like a Rust-Oleum cast off that they've repackaged as just a really crappy primer. But it works perfect for miniatures. Goes on super smooth. Super thin, you keep all your details and all that. So I use that to base it first. This one's still a little tacky, but we're gonna go ahead and move forward with it. We sprayed it probably just about 30 minutes ago, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw some pre-highlight on. Now when I do my pre-highlight, I like to make this his facing direction on most all my models. That's kind of where we're going to go the brightest at. We're going to work in a line going this way with it, and then of course we'll go over here and we'll come down to that too. And we'll go spend a lot of our time at 45-degree angles when we do this, so that when we come back with our colors, they'll be thin enough to where they'll still have their value from the pre-highlight we put on there. You hear this called zenithal lighting, things like that, but it's just a pre-highlight, and that's kind of what will direct us with the rest of our painting when we do this miniature today. Yeah, let's get things started. So we're going to use a Prehighlight white primer. I don't mix it with anything. It just goes straight into the pot. And I got some, let's see, I was cleaning my pot out real quick. Just want to add some purple alcohol in here real quick, just to kind of make sure there's nothing gunked up in there. All right. We'll make sure we clear that pot though. We don't want anything in there that'll mess with our paint. We're going to use Iwata Neo. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. These are great little workhorses. They're inexpensive for what they are. You can get them at your local Hobby Lobby or on the website. The good thing I like about these is that all of your needles and nozzles can be picked up the same day at a Hobby Lobby if you are having any issues and need to replace the parts. Generally speaking, get the same day. If not the same day, then you can order online. But you can, so where I'm located, there is probably 4 Hobby Lobbies within a half hour any direction. So if I can't get the one here in town, then I'll just drive to another town and go get another one same day. Same part, same day, and I can get back to painting. So. And it's inexpensive. It's not, you're paying $30 for needles and nozzles and you're up and going again the same day. So that's nice. You don't have to wait for something to come in through the mail. So anyhow, here we go. We're going to throw some paint on here. So I got the big pot. This brush here I use for most of my basing and priming. I do have another brush from Iwata also that has a trigger pull on it. I really like this. It has a 0.35 on it. It says a 0.5. And this is for getting in tighter, so I use a small pot on this one. So I keep the big pot on this one for priming. You don't really need a big pot when you get into your detail work. You'll just be wasting a lot of paint. All right, we don't need a whole lot, so we're just gonna put some in here. All right, now the only thing is that if you do start filling your pots, a lot of times this will have a tendency to dry out inside pot. You don't really want that. So all right, we're gonna blow some on here. A little drier, tips a little bit dry today, but we got pretty good ball coming out of there, so that'll work for us. All right, here we go. Now, like I said before, I'm going to spend most of the time at a 45 on this, and I'm going to work up and down the front here with this pre-highlight. Little peppery, not really where I want it. What I'm going to do is take my brush and I'm going to clean the tip real quick. Get any little dried up bits off of the needle and out of the nozzle. And we will see if that helps a little bit. Sometimes you just work with what you got, right? But having these problems in real time is good because you can kind of pick up little tips and tricks off people if you see them dealing with things in real time. Okay, we're just gonna move forward with it. All right, here we go. Working on that 45. Now we'll make several different passes with this as we go, because what will happen is this will kind of gray out on us a little bit. And we want it to be pretty bright for our highlights, right? So when you're brushing like this, you have always got to keep it moving. Don't sit still. If you sit still, you'll start blowing runs and puddling up, and you'll defeat kind of the whole purpose. Because in addition to risking blowing some runs, is that you will push a lot of fluid down into the cracks. So instead of where you want to have a dark recess for a shadow, you'll all of a sudden have a big, thick white line in that crack, and you don't really want to do that. Ooh. All right. Let's go to the back side here. I'm gonna do it again here. We got all these textures, furs, and whatnot, so we want to keep our pre-highlight going here. And normally I would stop and take time to clean this needle nozzle real quick, but I just want to get this on here and move forward with it. Because it's a little peppery, but it's going to work out fine. All right, come back to the front again. See how the sunlight's coming right down the direction he's facing? That's usually what I like to do with my highlight, my pre-highlight. That's where you as a viewer is going to tend to gravitate towards, and that's what I like to put my emphasis at. So backside, you can kind of just find an angle that looks good, because we're not going to go as bright back here. And I'll show this side to you here in a second. I got a couple spots I want to give a little bit of a highlight to. And then we'll go from there. All right, let's take a look at it now. See what we're looking at. There's your back side. It's going to make that cape look real cool there. We've got this over here, this torch, so we can work with that later and put some color, some fire, OSL up into this area. But for right now, we're going to leave things alone as far as any sort of object source lighting or anything like that. That's looking pretty good. All right. I believe that's it. We're going to give it just a moment here. We'll see how much gray starts coming through. You can see back here, that white calms down just a little bit when it starts to dry, and then it looks a lot more gray. All right, I believe that's going to do it for us. That will be our pre-highlight, and thank you guys for tuning in.